Joining us now, Senator Dan Sullivan from Senate Commerce. It's so good to have you on, Senator. Okay,
Liz, good to be on.
Rick Scott has been saying this. It's great to have you on. There's no shortage of baby formula in Mexico, Panama, or Canada. I mean, they knew about these problems with this Michigan baby formula plant 8 months ago. But that's not the only problem. It's because we have such strict guidelines and rules on what we can take in imports with baby formula. As Mika Brzezinski of MSNBC said, there's a lack of intensity here. They're rushing aid to Ukraine, and even Poland at that border of Ukraine has baby formula. What is going on here?
Liz, you know, what we're seeing is a return to the 1970s Jimmy Carter malaise on almost every single issue. They're behind the curve on everything, and their policies are creating empty shelves, high energy prices, and dictators invading other countries. It's Carter all over again, and the American working family is paying the heaviest price for this right now.
And sir, we're hearing that the president, according to the Hill media, that's the newspaper out of D.C., that he may not run again. That's what the talk now is in D.C. Are you hearing that? Because his Quinnipiac polls, again, are bad. 35% approval rating. CNN says nearly 9 out of 10 say they fear that the economy, they expect a recession, and that we're on the really brink of a big problem.
Well, look, what I think we need to do is win back the Senate and win back the House in November. That's the #1 priority that I and my Senate colleagues are focused on right now. And then win back the White House in 2024. That's the critical issue, because so much of what's happening here are self-inflicted wounds on the American people. You know, you and I have talked a lot about energy before, but this is getting out of control. 10 energy price records in the last 10 days at the pump. I mean, this is really hurting working families. And again, Liz, as you and I have talked about, it is policy driven, whether it's them trying to shut down energy production, limiting energy infrastructure, strong-arming financial institutions not to invest in the American energy sector. Right. And then now you're seeing it this past week, continuing their begging of dictators around the world, this time Venezuela, to produce more American energy when they're shutting it down in places like my great state, the great state of Alaska. These are policy self-inflicted wounds, and I think we're going to see a very strong result for Republicans in November.
You know, the voters, the polls, we keep reading through the polls, Senator. They see through what is going on in D.C., 100%. That you just go to a microphone and make a statement and act like that's the fix to the problem when there's no follow-through. I mean, the anti-prosperity socialist policies on the left wing. I covered the IRS. I covered taxes since 1986 and the IRS. I know what it's like to deal with bureaucrats in the FBI, in the SEC, in the IRS. I've been doing it for in my 4th decade. The left wing is inside government, and they're slamming the U.S. That's what's going on. We have got Nancy Pelosi, Janet Yellen. They're saying they're doing all they can to bring down gas prices. That's rhetoric. What are they doing? The White House is cracking down on U.S. energy.
Yeah, that's their line that they're using. The president uses that. We're doing everything we can. The Secretary of Energy was testifying in front of the Armed Services Committee today. She used the same line. We're doing all we can to increase production. I said, with all due respect, Madam Secretary, that's fundamentally false. Let me just give you 3 examples that I mentioned to her. In the last 3 weeks, they shut down a oil and gas lease in Alaska called the Cook Inlet lease sale. They just shut it down. No reason. They also took off the table the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska. This is an area set aside by Congress the size of Indiana. It's one of the most prolific oil and gas basins in the world. They took half of it off the table 3 weeks ago in an executive order, and now they're making it hard with new NEPA rules to actually build oil and gas infrastructure, LNG export facilities, and pipelines. So this is all crushing American energy, and we're seeing the predictable results. Higher prices on the back of working families.
Right. Let's listen to Senators Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and you're going to see the Energy Secretary make a big whopper of a mistake. Watch this.
Joe Biden believes if gas is $5 a gallon or $6 a gallon or $10 a gallon, that if he imposes enough pain, that eventually everyone will have this epiphany and get rid of that truck or get rid of that minivan and everyone will go buy an electric car.
They believe the more expensive oil and gas gets, the more people are going to buy electric cars. Well, not everyone can afford an electric car right now. We don't have enough electric car, and the batteries for those electric cars are made in China.
One of the things to come up with is to electrify the transportation system so that we are not subject to the whims of petro-dictators like Vladimir Putin. And when countries like the United States and others rightfully said that we are not going to be funding Vladimir Putin's war and we're not going to accept any of those barrels, that pulled about 1.5 billion barrels per day off of the global market.
Okay. They've got to start firing people in this White House, Senator. Russia does not produce 1.5 billion a day. It's less than 10 million barrels a day. It's not 1.5 billion. So that's disinformation. So they're basically pumping up Russia's oil output to settle it once and for all that it's Putin's price hike.
Well, you know, the other thing that came out of that clip with my two Senate colleagues, Senator Rubio and Cruz, is they're exactly right. The administration, the Biden administration, these are purposeful policies to drive up energy prices. The Gina McCarthy said it to, quote, accelerate the move to renewables and green energy. But it's on the backs of American working families, Liz, and that's the purposeful strategy they're undertaking right now.
Well, you know, to your point, remember Obama's Energy Secretary designate, Stephen Chu, said he wished that U.S. gas prices would rise above Europe's gas prices. This is in 2008 in order to get more green renewable policies inside the United States. So, you know, we've been living with this for years and years, and now it's full to the forefront right now. Your final word, Senator.
Well, look, I couldn't agree more with that, but the real insult is when this administration goes out and begs dictators, those in Venezuela, those in Iran, those in Saudi Arabia, for more energy production when they're shutting it down in my state and hurting the good working families of Alaska and America.
Got it. Senator Sullivan, come back soon. It's great to have you on.